What's up, people? Welcome to my show where I bring in different people from different career fields and walks of life to showcase their talents and specialties to the world. Today I have with me one of Beverly's own students, Aaron. Aaron is a junior, same grade as me, and he's a wonderful classmate that I'm fortunate enough to have in my Algebra 2 class. So come on up, Aaron.
Hello, Amado. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. Great.
Thank you for being here today. Yeah, you're good.
Very cool.
Well, thank you for being here today.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you. It's fun to be on the show.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how's everything going?
Pretty good. Just a lot going on. Junior year and all that.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I mean, as January is coming to a close, I was just wondering what your goals are for the new year.
Honestly, my main goal between everything going on in my life has just been to stay consistent with whatever I'm doing. Like beginning of this year and like around end of last year, I've really been trying to pick up a lot of different hobbies or skills I want to get better at, and I mean, it's very easy to compare yourself to people who are already like very good at certain things, which can discourage me from doing stuff. But I think it's more important to focus on like where you're at and just trying to get better every single day, and that it can only happen if you stay consistent. Like I've been drawing a lot recently, which has been really fun. But like every single day now, I try to stay consistent with just some type of practice for it, and really anything else that I do.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And I mean, yeah, that's something I've learned too, is to not compare yourself to others. I mean, it's one thing to try to aspire to be like someone who's already at a higher level in something, because we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we ourselves have certain stuff that we can be, better at than others, while there's others who may have a more higher skill set than us. So I feel like instead of comparing ourselves in a negative way, we should instead go up to that person and just ask them questions and be like, how did you get to this level? Yeah. How did you do that? Because that's what's going to make you a better individual.
For sure. I think part of it too is also kind of hard for a lot of people is that, and I mean, you could blame a lot of things on this, but I think that like because when COVID was happening, when we were doing the whole pandemic, when I was finishing 7th grade going into 8th grade, so basically the second half of my middle school was just not there, which is, I'd much rather have that be gone than high school, obviously. But the problem is that now for like BVMS, they're really giving these kids a lot of like guidance and really showing them what the high school is going to be about. And there's a lot of things that I'm doing like only starting like right now or the kind of end of last year that I wish I had done way sooner, but I never really understood what they were, or really felt open to doing it in any way, because I don't really have an understanding of what it was at all. But now, like just this past Tuesday, like I'm in choir, so we went there and did it and like sang some songs for everybody. And I mean, not only that was us, it was band, it was academica, it was theater, and I think that like by really showing these people this, they're always much more open to trying it. And I think that's very easy to be like, why didn't I do this stuff sooner? Which is true. I wish I did, but it's much better to just start right now and try getting better from there, instead of blaming yourself for what you did wrong in the past.
Yeah, and it's not about where you were before, it's about where you are now, choosing to evolve from where you were before. And it's like you said, like just not feeling bad for yourself, because I noticed that the main question people have or that they think about is regrets. What is your biggest regret? And I feel like that's just poison itself, because first of all, you can't change what happened to you, and second of all, it doesn't matter where you were before.
I remember there's this quote, I forget, I'm gonna kind of have to paraphrase it, I forget exactly who said it, but it was this guy who was I think I just paraphrasing it, what he was kind of saying was that like focusing entirely on the past makes you sad, and focusing too much on the future creates anxiety. So like to truly improve, you just have to focus on what you can literally do in this entirely in the now. It's not to say that reflecting on your past is a bad thing or looking forward to what you can do better in the future is. It's just that you're only gonna build that bridge to that point if you stay in the present. So yeah.
And then my next question that I have for you is your like, what is your culture, your family culture, out of curiosity?
I'm half white and I'm half Persian. My Persian side is basically just entirely from Iran, and my white side is from like all over the place because my mom's white. It's from like a little bit of France, Germany. My brother did a 23andMe thing a while ago. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like. I'm Jewish, but I'm not like super religious. Like I don't really go to temple. I do Shabbat, but I don't really. It's more of like a family gathering thing. For me personally, I've never really been a super like religious like person for a lot of things. But what I really like is just the family gathering of it. I think that like having a reason for your whole family to get together is much more important than the like religious. At least to me, is much more important than the like understanding the reading of the Torah or the Bible, or going to temple really. But I mean, I also like I really enjoy a lot of the food. I mean, I'm a big fan of it. I remember like my favorite like dish, like Persian dish, is gondi. It's kind of like. The closest thing I can relate it to is kind of like chicken dumplings. In fact, it's funny because like that flavor profile carried over to this, where like when I was younger, I really just loved sushi, so I tried just putting soy sauce on anything that I'd eat just for fun. I tried putting on gondi one time. It just tastes like really good chicken dumplings. And I remember like last year when I did culinary, there were some other kids in that class. One of them, we had this project. It was like an ethnic food project where you bring in a food from your like background some way. And for me, I just brought in gondi because my grandma was making it for me since I was like a young kid, and I made it with her. It was great. I mean, she helped me, but she showed me like how to do it. But it's honestly, it's not super complicated. It's just I never really made it before. It's also very similar to making dumplings. Like a lot of it's really back to like making stuff with your hands. But right, so I made it for this project, and I bring it in, and everyone had it. Someone else actually also made gondi, and then I remember right at the end, I was like, "Hey guys, you should also try this," and I just gave them soy sauce. Every person there who's had gondi there looked at me like I just killed someone. Like it was just like it was really funny. I mean, chef loved it though. But yeah, I'm half Persian, half white.
I always say this when someone talks about Chef. I always say shout out to Chef Lease because I was in his intro class.
I miss culinary, man. It was.
I know. Yeah, intro was fun, especially with Chef. He always had wonderful advice to give to all of us, just to help us out as teenagers, and especially as. Before we know it, we'll be out of high school. We'll be in college on our own adults. So
yeah, I mean, we're both juniors, so
yeah. And
it's a lot to think about.
And you know, the fact that you said that you come from a half white, half Persian family.
It's a weird background.
I mean, I don't find it weird.
No, I don't mean weird as in like a bad way. I mean like it's just like two very different worlds. I mean.
But I mean that's the thing. I mean there are pros and cons, but I feel like especially when it comes to those people having kids, the kids get not just one particular background, but two. They're educated on two. And they're educated on two backgrounds as well, which I like.
I think it's helped me. I think have a more like diverse view of most things, because when you come from like two people who've come, also like both of my parents came from very different backgrounds as well. Like getting to kind of see both of those allows me to like understand. It's allowed me to like learn things I don't think I ever really would at my age if it weren't for like stuff like that. Yeah.
And yeah, that's something I've been taught too, and that's why I wouldn't mind being in a relationship with someone who has a completely different background than me. I always try to be open-minded instead of a closed-minded person. So I'm glad you're getting that experience and education from your family.
I think it's always just important to just always remind yourself that everything about like. I mean, we're all teenagers. I mean, we all have very like weird, busy, odd lives. I mean, not all of us, but like there's a lot of things going on constantly. Like these 4 years, a lot of things happen.
Yeah.
I mean, like seriously, if I talk to myself from freshman year, I would be like an entirely different person.
Exactly.
I just think that the main thing you really have to keep in mind is just that everyone is a person. We're all going to change just a ton day by day. Like, I mean, honestly, like a month ago compared to what I know right now about my life to like a month ago, I also feel like an entirely different person. Like you're like everyone's gonna be changing rapidly. So I just think that always reminding yourself of like every single one of those people, every single one of those like peers you're with, they're all people. They're all going through their own things.
And yeah, it's just step-by-step process.
Yeah.
And then my next question for you is, how long have you lived in Beverly Hills for?
My whole life.
Wow, since you were born?
Yep, I've lived in the same house my entire life. I've gone to the same district my whole life. Well, I think that's not all the other questions. I've been in the same district my whole life. I like it. I like it here. I think El Rodeo. I miss El Rodeo. El Rodeo was like the best school. Like for that. I mean, not my. Honestly, of everything I've been to, I think was like probably the best school. Mostly, and I say that mostly because like. It's just gonna happen as time goes on, but it's like it's an elementary school, so every single grade was like a pretty small amount of people, not like tiny, but like not too big. It was like a good amount of people. There was like I don't know how overall how many people there were, but there were like enough people per grade to where it kind of felt like just kind of like an extended family. But like you didn't all know each other, didn't all hang out with each other. No, sorry, you didn't all like hang out with each other, but you all like knew each other at the very least. Like we all kind of knew each other to some extent. I think like part of that led to like me having a lot of camaraderie amongst a lot of those people. Like I look back on like my middle school like friend group where it's like we're all kind of like a lot of us are still friends. We're all kind of like scattered between a lot of different like areas of life right now. And I think back to just like the camaraderie, the camaraderie you feel when having kind of like a smaller group of people like that was just it's just like the most fun thing. I mean, it's just. I think it's something that we should always try looking for. I mean, even like right now, as I was saying, of like really like I'm trying to better myself in a lot of like hobbies or just skills that I want to get better at. I still think the most important thing for like living the happiest and the most fulfilled that you can is making connections with other people. Because I mean, at the end of the day, that's just like the best way of living, balancing like being more of an individual and blending into other people. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
At least that's how I see it.
I agree with you too. I mean, I see it the same way too. It's just a balance of your own schedule as well as making connections with others, because being with others, especially family, as long as it's good people that'll uplift you, it's a really good feeling. It's a sense of, you have a sense of belonging. Yeah.
It's also like, but I will say this though, is that something I have gotten a little better at is just kind of making the best out of a kind of whatever situation, because this year I don't really have a lot of classes with like friends who I'm really good friends with, but like a lot of people I've ended up becoming friends with. Like for example, I mean Algebra 2 is a good example. I mean, I would probably never really talk to Yuri, Josh, or you, or like Lee. I mean, I have a few of the classes, Leo, but I mean, like I would probably end up talking to you guys a ton, or really being on this show right now if it weren't for the fact that I got like lucky enough to like be in there. It's really fun. I mean, the class is hard, and I mean, Yuri and Yuri is just like insanely good at math, and I don't know what's going on at all, but
I love Yuri.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you for teaching me how to pass my final by that much. Thank you, Yuri.
Oh yeah, and then one thing I do like about that class is like when we get a little sidetracked sometimes.
Yeah, we did the last
class.
Did nothing.
That was funny.
Nothing. Yeah, no, but. Yeah, I think that like being kind of in the same school district your whole life is also like it's also why I'm trying to really make a point of like trying to not like just end up going to SMC like right after I'm done with high school. That's like I'm not entirely opposed to it, more that it's just I've been here my entire life, and it's like I'm going to be a young adult soon enough, and I just want to go like see more of the world, see more of like even just California, just go explore more as well. It's also part of like why I'm trying to make I'm trying to just get like as much stuff done right now, whether it be like just getting good grades, doing stuff I want to get genuinely better at, get it like to where I could like go off to like a college that's like that's like it's like not in the area, and what was it? And also get my DMV stuff done because I'm still very, very much not there. But yeah, I enjoy it here, but I mean, I do think it does have some issues. Like I think that just I think that especially with was it I don't know. I just think like funding for certain things was like a little mix sometimes. Like I remember during like kind of like El Rodeo, like there was always like a lot of like areas where the funding was just like put into stuff. Actually, that's actually a better example here. I mean that the theater's been under construction for like 6 years now. It's been under construction for a very long time. I mean probably because of COVID, but even then, if we're not all here, I'd assume they'd have more time to build. But I don't think it's the worst thing ever. But I just think that. Sometimes the budgeting is a little off, but beyond that's pretty cool area.
Yeah. And let's talk about your hobbies. I mean, your interests. I know
a lot of things. Yeah,
I understand one of them is
drawing.
Yeah, like drawing, and then I also understand that you've done theater arts as well. So yeah. How long have you been doing that for?
Oh my God. Well, I mean, I'll start with theater. I've been doing it since like last year. I was in ensemble for Mean Girls. I was the Great Mage Steve in She Kills Monsters, which I God, I miss doing that show. It was so much fun. And then right now we're doing Pirates of Penzance, and you should come watch. I'm not like I'm just gonna be on ensemble again, but honestly, if I had to choose a show to be ensemble for, it would be this. This show is so much fun. It may be a little late, but you should, if you want to join. It's like, honestly, a lot of it's just that it's like I just like pirate stuff, and it's like it's a very silly show. It's like it's just kind of like an operatic show where it's like a lot of like the singing is mostly operatic, and a lot of the characters are very like crazy, kooky pirates, and I love that. So singing a lot of the songs, just like these big like boisterous like sea shanties with all your friends. It's like that went on in the ensemble. It's great. And I've really loved doing it. I mainly want to do voice acting when I get older. But quite honestly, I don't really know exactly what I want to do like entirely. Like I'm just kind of going between a lot of like different things that I really do enjoy doing, but like I mean, because it's like the job title of guy who makes of creator isn't exactly a job title. It's more of just like a thing. I just like making things, really. I just like making things. I just like making art. I just like doing that stuff. Like it's just I've never really wanted to do stuff like in like the medical field, really, or like I don't like being like doing law or anything like that. Not because I think it's like inherently boring, but just for me personally, it's more fulfilling to me to do all those other things. But yeah, theater's great. I also just joined choir recently. It's been really great. Shout out to Mr. Smith. It's just doing really fun so far. Like again, like I said, I want to do voice acting, so I want to like train my voice when it comes to like singing or just anything I really can right now, just to get better at it. And beyond that, I also like try to work out as consistently as I can. I haven't really had a lot of time recently, but I've been trying to make an effort to go like 3-4 times a week, or at least just work out 3-4 times a week. I've been drawing it, like I said, I've been drawing a lot, kind of made like a schedule of just like right now I'm just really studying like anatomy, which has been really fun, and this is kind of more of like a side thing, like, and very much just kind of starting with it, but I want to try to learn to pick up some type of instrument at some point. It's a lot of different things, but I think that so far I've been doing a pretty good job of like balancing this stuff with my actual schoolwork and what I really do, like I genuinely need to get done, without feeling super overwhelmed. Like I still try to like give a time where it's just like, hey, you know, I already did enough today, I could just relax, because I mean I'm still going to be alive tomorrow, so I still have to like I can get up tomorrow and still be like, you know, I mean, I worked on drawing a ton today, I'm gonna go to the gym today, or I'm gonna go, I don't know, try to like practice playing an instrument or something like that.
But I mean, it's funny you say that, because now I'm trying to get into the process of that too. Like there's a lot of stuff that I want to do or learn about, and it is a lot, but I'm in the process right now, especially since it's the new year, of just balancing that time. It's hard. Yeah, just paying attention to what time I do this, what time I do that, and just making it all work. Even if I have to get up early, like 6 a.m., I noticed that the goal to do that is to just tell yourself to get up instead of just lay back down and like just keep sleeping.
I think part of it too is also like at a point like you just need to get more sleep. Like this is the first, like these past 2 days, the first time in a while I've gone like I've gone like less than like 7 hours of sleep, and I really feel it. Like I remember during winter break I would just stay up to like ungodly hours every single day, which was fun, but then you know you have to worry about being up on time. That's part of also why I'm kind of excited for college, because when you can actually set your own schedule, that's gonna be more fun, at least for me. What else I was gonna say? Right. Sorry, what were we just talking about?
Oh, we were talking about our schedules and our routines.
Oh, right, yeah. I was gonna say though, honestly, the hardest thing I think is also just I never really have breakfast in the morning. Like I basically just get up and go. I mean, because I live pretty close to the school, so I just kind of like just bike here and just get there like pretty quickly. But I gotta just get more of the routine of doing that. Actually, no. I remember what I was gonna say. I remember what I was gonna say was that. I feel like also like kind of like a lot of us like right now, I've seen this a lot of my friends right now, where we're all kind of like doing a lot of different things. It's because we're teenagers and we want to like explore more avenues of things. And if I learned anything is that like if you don't do like if you really want to do something like this and you just want to try it at the very least, you're gonna regret it if you never actually try, because for all you know that thing could just sprout to be like what you love, what you want to do with your life. I mean, like for example, I've only really just like kind of like just started trying to like pick up like an instrument of some sort, but I have like a piano kind of like slash synth in my room. Like you just has like you like changes like the sound of it. It's really cool. I'm trying to like I'm really trying to pick that. I'm trying to pick that up in some way. That or like guitar. And I think that just like going between that and a lot of the other things that I'm doing, and that goes for you and really anyone else, is like it's really hard to it's really hard to balance. But I think that it's more important to just try it right now rather than like thinking like, oh, why didn't I ever do that thing, and just imagining what could have been. Yeah.
And my last two questions for you is, what's the hardest thing that you've dealt with in life, and how did you overcome that challenge?
It's a good question. That's a really good question.
It really
I thought about it beforehand, but it's just I couldn't. Well, honestly, the biggest challenge in my life is something I don't really know if I want to talk about, like on this level. But like, I think just like I could say mostly what I learned from that. I guess that's kind of what I was talking about earlier, where it's like I think just kind of like the hardest thing to deal with sometimes, just like because of how just like wild and just random life can be sometimes. I mean, you can't really control your emotions. So, I mean, especially for people our age, it's hard to control your emotions. It's hard to really like not have it like sway the way you think of someone or a whole, or just like the way you think of like everything. And I think that just something I've ever had to just like really keep in mind is that when I get really mad at things, it's more just because of a fact that like I don't understand it, or and I want peace in some way. And I think that like I think a lot of time when people get really mad at things, it tends to be because of just being frustrated with life. And I think that just like just like at a point you really have to just like sit down and think to yourself like what am I doing, and try not to like fall into like a deeper hole with things, because I think that like when it gets to a point where you're really mad about things or just your life or anything, I think it's very easy just to kind of recoil and just fall into nothing rather than like actually really trying to get yourself back up and improving. And it's hard, don't get me wrong, but I think that like the thing you just really have to do is just like not have your emotions control every single aspect of your life. I'm not saying don't consider your emotions, but I'm saying just trying to like, I guess not more logically, just not have your anger sway you into doing things that you know that you deep down don't want to do, but you're doing it more just to get it out on other people because you're frustrated with your own life. Just don't hurt. Just don't anyway. Just don't hurt other people. I think that's just the main thing. I just try not to make situations worse and just like try to make them better for everyone else. I know it's what I'm saying is kind of vague, and I just that to kind of explain it, it would take a long time to really explain every single aspect of it. But like, no, mainly that I'm just saying it's just. Like I'm saying, always see other people as people. Everyone's going through their own things.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I mean, you explained it really well, and that's something I've learned too, is we all go through stuff. We don't know what others are going through, but to just not take out your anger on others, because it's really your own problem. It's not the other person's problem, even your own parents. And I mean, my last question was gonna be, what's the most important thing you've learned in life? But I feel like you already explained it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, beyond that, I think that just the most important thing in life is just to not dumb down people, because I think that we can't consider someone's entire life. We can't consider everything that's ever happened to them, what's going on with them right now, because we're not them. We're not mind readers. We don't have infinite knowledge. I can't understand everything that's going on with everybody. Mm-hmm. But I think that just goes beyond our emotions or situation, just everything that's going on in our lives. I think that it's very easy just to dumb down people into just something that's just like that we could just like flick away, just like a phrase or like a label that just makes us not really even consider them as a person. And I think that like by doing that, it ultimately creates more harm than good. And I just think probably the most important thing I think that I've learned in my own life is just that just don't dumb down other people. That's just the main thing I'm saying. Yeah, just try to be humble, I guess.
Yeah, you said it very well. I mean, it was a pleasure having you for the show. You've said some really wonderful and wise things. Yeah. And like I said, it's a pleasure.
Join choir. Join theater. No, please. No, but Sorry, finish what you're saying. I'm just wanted to just thought it'd be funny.
That's all good, but yeah, I mean, it's a pleasure being in math with you. And you sound like a wonderful and terrific person.
Thank you, Amado. I think I want to say I really appreciate you coming for inviting me on here. I really enjoy just like getting to talk to people like in any situation. I think that like what we talked about, maybe probably know some useful for someone if they actually watch the whole thing. But you know.
Yeah. And that's it for the Amado Lucero show. Thank you for staying tuned in.
Yep. Have a good day.
And that's it.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.